Switch chat room, take 1.
Have you ever used the phrase new year, new me?
No, but my friends have. Yes, but kind of as a joke.
Yes, I have used the phrase new year, new me, but as an opportunity.
Yes, I've used it as motivation to start new habits.
I've definitely used it, but more in the sense of like I set all of these like some realistic but some unrealistic goals for like the beginning of like a new year. I'm like, yeah, I can just start doing everything different all at once. And then like I fail once. I'm like, oops, guess I can't ever do that again.
I think to me, new year, new me, it just kind of like an opportunity to try out new things that year or maybe improve upon something that you weren't necessarily great at the year before.
It kind of feels like we only have one chance to kind of restart until, the next year comes around. So that's why I've always been more of just New Year's resolutions instead of just like new year, new me, because that's pretty dramatic to use.
Yeah. It can be a lot of pressure because it's just, that's a lot of time to start a new thing.
Do you think that the saying new year, new me is actually good advice?
No. You don't need to completely change yourself just because the year is changing.
I also think that it also, like, once it gets to, like, November, December, any change that somebody wants to make or improvement on their life in general, they're like, oh, I can just make that a goal for next year. And it's like you don't need to wait for the next year to change yourself.
You also don't want to feel like you have to wait to start a new habit. You have to feel like you can start a new habit whenever you want, whenever you think you need to.
When is it time that you decided to change something about yourself and you actually followed through on that?
Reading my Bible every day. Sometimes it's just looking at the verse of the day. Sometimes it's going in depth into that.
There was a time whenever I decided, like, I figured out that, like, praying, but you do it throughout your day. Like, and so then I started praying, like, at random times of my day, like in my car, or like in the kitchen and just like random stuff like that, instead of setting up specific times to pray, like in the morning and at night.
I was trying to figure out maybe habits that me and God could work on during the year. And one of them I really felt like was I shouldn't be cursing. I should not be cussing people out. It was just a terrible habit I was in. And I actually followed through with that. And it was kind of hard to not slip out every now and then, but I had actually followed through in something I wanted to change about myself, but with the power of God.
About a year and a half ago, I decided to start working out and exercising. And so I've made that a habit and I've kept it. And, it really helps, obviously, your physical health, but also mental health.
Do you guys think that culture's view of transformation and the Bible's view of transformation are the same or different?
At a church camp that I went to, we talked about how God is countercultural. And I think that a lot of times with just change in general, we conform a lot, right, to the world. And so whenever it just comes to the whole demeanor with everything like that, they're just so completely and totally different.
Yeah, when the Bible talks about transformation, it's always a transformation to good, to positive, what we kind of align with. And a lot of times the culture, their transformation, it's not what we align of, so it's almost going backwards in a way. When
we want to make a change in our lives, what should we do?
Look to God and surround yourself with people to hold you accountable. It can be difficult at first because nobody likes to be told when they're doing something wrong. But if you don't have accountability, you're not going to make it very far at all.
Yeah, I think that's really important to have people to go to, like if you're struggling with something especially.
Also, if it's a really big thing, taking just small little steps before you just go all in, like completely change everything can be good. Because if you change just the whole thing really quickly, that can be really overwhelming and stressful. So just small little changes can lead to the big change.
What's something you guys learned from this conversation?
Well, I didn't really look at the new year, new me like kind of the way I do now. It's kind of a new way to look at it, I guess.
Transformation it's different in God's eyes than in our cultural view. I think that's what I got out of this.
Yeah, we should be careful when we're making New Year's resolutions and probably not running around with those words of new year, new me. And we should definitely be looking to God for the help that we need and the people that He puts in our lives to help with those things.
What is a change you need to make in your life?
I think just being more vulnerable with my community.
I need to be serving in local communities more and inviting my friends to do so too.
I think being more open to my friends and family about things.
I think I need to be more consistent in God's word.